Why we don't ride zebras. The image is undeniably captivating. A striking black and white striped steed carrying a rider across the African savanna. It's a fantasy that has tempted explorers, colonists, and dreamers for centuries. Why journey with mundane horses when one could ride a creature as wild and beautiful as the plains themselves? Yet this vision remains largely in the realm of fiction. While the idea of riding zebras might seem charmingly unconventional, the reality is that these animals are profoundly ill-suited for the role that their cousin, the horse, has played for millennia. The reason we ride horses and not zebras is a fascinating tale of geography, evolution, and a fundamental clash of temperaments. The story of the horse is one of humanity's greatest partnerships. Initially, wild horses were hunted for their meat, much like many other large-game animals. However, a pivotal shift occurred around 4000 to 3500 BCE in the steppes of Central Asia, north of the Black Sea. Here, our ancestors began the process of domestication. This was not a single event, but a long, gradual selection for the most tractable animals. Those that were calmer, less reactive, and more tolerant of human presence were selectively bred. This domestication was a cornerstone of human civilization, revolutionizing transport, warfare, agriculture, and trade. It enabled migrations across continents and forged empires. The horse became, quite literally, the engine of human progress. The zebra, however, followed a different evolutionary path. Sharing a common ancestor with the horse, the zebra lineage diverged and migrated into Africa roughly 4 to 4.5 million years ago. This continent became a crucible that forged a very different kind of animal. The African savanna is one of the most predator-dense environments on Earth, home to lions, hyenas, leopards, and crocodiles. Survival here demanded a constant state of high alert. Consequently, zebras evolved not for placidity, but for a hyper-vigilant and reactive survivalism. Their famous fight-or-flight instinct is not just pronounced, it is a refined, non-negotiable survival mechanism. To understand why this makes them untamable, we must consider the core principles of domestication. Russian scientist Dmitry Belyaev, in his famous fox domestication experiments, identified key traits necessary for an animal to be domesticated: a flexible social hierarchy, a relatively calm disposition, and a tolerance for close proximity to humans. Furthermore, domesticated animals must reach maturity quickly and be willing to breed in captivity. Zebras fail on almost all these counts. Their temperament is their defining and, for us, most problematic feature. They are notoriously unpredictable and possess a powerful hair trigger reflex. A sudden movement or unfamiliar sound can trigger a violent reaction. They are also fiercely independent and lack the inherent desire to please a handler that has been bred into dogs and horses over generations. A zebra does not see a human as a leader, it sees a potential threat. This defensive nature is backed by formidable physical weapons. A zebra's kick is a powerful and precise act of violence, capable of shattering a lion's jaw with terrifying accuracy. They are also adept at biting, and unlike horses, they have a strong instinct to hold on and not let go, causing severe injury. This deep-seated and justified fear of predators extends seamlessly to humans, making any attempt at close handling an extremely dangerous endeavor. While there have been rare, notable exceptions of individual zebras being tamed, these cases prove the rule rather than challenge it. In the early 20th century, Lord Walter Rothschild famously trained a zebra to pull a carriage through the streets of London, causing a sensation. More recently, a man in South Africa named Z the zebra has trained zebras for riding. However, these are monumental achievements of patience applied to specific animals, not a blueprint for domestication. Taming a single, potentially less reactive individual is a world away from the selective breeding program required to create a domesticated population. These zebras remain wild at their core, their compliance often fragile and dependent on constant reinforcement. Beyond temperament, there are practical physical limitations. Zebras are generally smaller and less robust than most riding horses. Their backs are not optimally structured for carrying weight over long distances, and they possess less stamina and speed than a bred horse. Their smaller size and weaker constitution mean they would be less effective for carrying heavy loads or for sustained travel. So, while the dream of riding a zebra is a romantic one, it is thwarted by millions of years of evolution. The horse, molded by the cooperative pressures of the Eurasian steppe, became our partner. The zebra, forged in the predatory furnace of Africa, became a survivor, too alert, too aggressive, and too independent to ever willingly submit to a saddle. They're a testament to a different kind of strength, one of untamable wildness. And perhaps it is best that way. Some beauties are meant to be admired from a distance, not bridled and ridden.